right, here we go, parking the RV at a campsite for the very first time. For our first trip in the RV, we kind of did a last minute thing. Some friends of ours who have RVs were going down to the Navy Getaways or Navy Recreation Center in Solomons, Maryland. And so we're up here in Washington and our RV is stored over here in Woodbridge. And so we had to drive down to Woodbridge with the cats. That was fun. Load up the RV and then drive all the way back up over and pretty much down. I think it probably took us about 3 hours to get there. It's a pretty cool little area. It's a really, I guess normally in non-COVID times, it's pretty frequently visited by tourists. So there's also another really cool thing called Calvert Cliffs Campground here. That's public, and then of course the Navy Getaway is for military affiliated folks. But it's right here on the water, and it was a really cool place. We had never been. We ended up going back a couple more times. But the fun thing about our visit is that there was actually a hurricane headed towards us, but we went anyway. This was our first time camping with the RV, so this was also our first time setting it up. And so since then we've kind of figured out a cadence. Josh pretty much sets up outside with the power, the water. If we have sewer hookups, he takes care of all of that while I set up inside. Anybody who RVs knows that things have to be put away for moving, so there's actually a lot to do inside to get everything set up. But since this was our first time, I really wanted to capture all of the things that Josh had to do to set everything up. So you're going to see him set up the leveling and put the slides out, and we're going to do the water and the power. We didn't have sewer hookups here, so we won't show that, but we'll show you at the very end how we used the dump station for the first time, which was an adventure. Josh is going around and putting the little jack pads down before we put the stabilizers down. The levers, I guess.
I'm gonna put the jack sail.
Yep.
You're gonna let this left side out first, and I'll just watch for your hand motions.
Yep. This spot was so level that it took about 30 seconds once the arms came down to get it completely level. It was really, really nice. Hey.
I just want to give you a warning.
Yeah.
With the remnants of Laura coming through this weekend, this area down here, if you get a lot of rain, it tends to get standing water.
Okay.
So I just wanted to warn you.
Yeah.
Don't put anything outside that you don't want.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
No problem.
So far, so good. One thing you don't hear here is me talking on the phone to Josh, making sure that the cats are out of the way because they can actually get in between the bed and the slides. Oh yeah, I've literally only seen this thing out one time. The guy was just coming over to tell us that if we get a lot of rain tomorrow with the hurricane, that this whole thing will flood. So not to leave anything out, like on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice of him.
It was very nice of him to come by and tell us.
There you go.
Said he's been here since July and he had to move. Are you bleeding?
Yeah.
What did you do?
Cat wrangling.
I figured your first injury would be not waiting on those stairs to come down. Plug her in. Nope.
Off.
Yep. Make sure they're off. Charging the Tesla too. All right, generator's off.
Where is the spray?
The bleach. It's in one of the bags. Yep. Oh, is the water filter in now? Nope. These are pre-rinsed. Why is the water on?
Probably just pressure. Nope.
Is the water pump on? Where's that coming from? Turn the water pump off. Ready to turn on the water?
I guess.
Turn that water. All hooked up? Soaking wet?
Yeah, a little wet.
Puddle of water in the thing with no drain. Why is there no drain in there? I don't know.
Well, live and learn, I guess.
Surge protector's a little wet.
Let's go inside and see if it works.
All right. Hi, kitty. What you think, Pacey? It's pretty cool. Not a terrible view. We intended to get a fun time lapse of setting up the RV for the first time on the inside, but as you can see, our suction cup didn't work and it fell off, I think while we were outside, so we didn't notice. So instead I got about 13 minutes of the ceiling and me occasionally walking by not noticing the GoPro sitting on the floor, and that's about it. Luckily I did get one live photo of everything all set up, so enjoy. Once we finished setting up, inside and outside, we walked just a short ways from our campsite to a little beach, and our friends had brought their dogs, so you'll see in a few minutes the dogs did get to play in the water, and we were watching the first bands of that storm I talked about were coming in, and you can see really far from this beach, so you see a lot of lightning. We weren't hearing any thunder at all, so it was still very far away, and it was actually a few more hours before it even started raining. Whoa, that lightning is crazy. want to be out under the covers. Pacey is watching us. We're watching TV. Our friends are over there. Josh made us pork chops. I made broccoli in the microwave.
The microwave
because we have a microwave in our RV. And we're ready for our first dinner. All right, good morning. We spent our first night in the RV last night, and it was kind of crazy. We had the storm come through a bit earlier than expected. It was the remnants of Hurricane Laura, or kind of something ahead of it, I guess. And so it was very loud, lots of thunder. I didn't sleep a whole lot until about 4 a.m. When the storms kind of died down. It's actually still raining right now, and I think it's gonna rain all day. But yeah, we survived. RV is all right. Pets are good, we're good. And I'm getting ready to make the bed, which I'm super excited about for the first time ever because we have beddies, and I just want to capture how quick and easy this is. Yeah, so we'll make the bed now. So you just, there's this little piece of fabric and you just tuck that in. Get your seam lined up and grab your zipper. I have it unzipped all the way because I like to stick my feet out. One side. Same thing over here. Josh's pillows are down here. Ha! Don't trust. Do not trust the suction cup. Well, you get the point. It only takes a few seconds. I just have to put the pillows on now. And now the AC is running, so it's going to be really loud. Alright, well, Hurricane Laura has officially arrived. Although the storms we got last night were much worse. We're just getting some rain this morning. It did keep raining the whole rest of that day, and Josh was at work, so I pretty much just turned on the TV and vegged out and enjoyed my day off from work. That evening, everything was pretty much flooded, just like our neighbor said it was going to be, but the clouds did part and the moon came out and it was really bright, and we had a nice evening sitting around outside. All right, it's almost checkout time. I think we're supposed to leave here in like 10 minutes, and so Josh just called and got us a late checkout at 3 p.m. So now I'm sitting in the shade in my chair enjoying a mimosa. Instead of using that extra time to pack up and get ready to go, we decided to go down to the beach instead. And we had a really nice time. The sun was out, it was warm, and we all got in the water. There were a few jellyfish, but it wasn't too bad. All right, well, we decided to cook hot dogs for lunch, so we got the grill out. So now we have a little more stuff to clean up. before we go. Josh is gonna work on me outside, and I'm about to get up and go inside and put away anything that's left out so we can get ready to move. All right, time to figure out how to use the dump station. There's a hole in the ground, so that looks pretty easy.
Alright, fire the hole.
Did you pull the gray yet? Once we got back to storage, the plan was to leave it for about 2 weeks, and it was the middle of the summer. The sun is relentless, so we popped out our cover, a brand new cover that we'd never used, and Josh figured out how to get it on. Thank goodness, because I do not go on the roof. I'm not exactly afraid of heights, but I don't love them. It's kind of a one-person job anyway, so he figured that out, and then we put her to bed and left her for what we thought was going to be 2 weeks, but spoiler alert, we ended up taking her out 4 days later. All right, all wrapped up and ready to hang out for 2 weeks while we're back at home. We'll see you in 2 weeks.